It's 6:03. Stephanie will keep allowing folks to enter. My name is Laura Lauffer. I work for Empowering Mountain Food Systems, and we are based here in southwestern North Carolina. We are a project of the Appalachian Regional Commission and the Cherokee Preservation Foundation, working for North Carolina Cooperative Extension and the Center for Environmental Farming Systems. This is a presentation as part of our winter and spring agribusiness series, sponsored by the Small Business Center Network, and our three college partners are Tri-County Community College, Southwestern Community College, and Haywood Community College. And so we're really grateful for that partnership. And folks are really interested in online sales platforms for direct-to-consumer sales. So we wanted to try to have that discussion and especially lead producers to different resources, because there are so many out there. I do want to recognize Hannah Dankbar. She is the head of the local food extension program based in Raleigh. She works throughout the state, and she was going to be presenting tonight, but had a conflict. And so I have amended her presentation, but she did a lot of work on it. So absolutely want to recognize Hannah Dankbar. All right, so introductions. We're asking you to take the poll. So if you haven't already taken the poll, please do. But so far, I know we've got folks from Qualla Boundary and Haywood County and Harnett County. So everybody just, put in the chat where you're from and what you're up to. I'm really interested to know, what you are specifically selling. If there is a product that we can talk about, Stephanie is going to hold questions to the end, and we're going to make sure and address those. And pardon me, I do want to introduce our communications director, Stephanie Rayburn. Stephanie is here to help me facilitate tonight, and I really appreciate your support tonight, Stephanie.
Yeah. Welcome. Happy to be here.
Great. All righty. So yeah, if y'all have a question that comes up, just stick it in the chat and we'll make sure and address that. All righty. So we've got somebody in the waiting room. So our agenda tonight, we're going to talk about benefits and considerations for online sales, types of platforms to consider, what questions you should ask each platform, and then at the end, we're going to have a farmer interview. So very grateful that KT is here from KT's Orchard, and Christina is here from Outlaw Acres. And so they both are active farmers and are doing this research in real time. So they have some good experience to share. So we're going to talk with them at the end. All right. So what are some considerations for marketing local food? So personality and interest of the farmer. Do you want to diversify or hold? This is online sales as a way to diversify your income sources. Some say it's a lot less labor intensive than setting up at the farmer's market, or it adds to your farmer's market sales. There could be certifications required. You want to talk to NCDA and USDA especially about meat. Buyer expectations. The consumer has a high demand ratio, and if you don't meet it, they could go someplace else, depending on how well they know you. And that's a little bit of the challenge with online sales, is you don't have that direct interface the way you do at the farmer's market. But hopefully, your consumer knows you and appreciates what you're doing and might have some flexibility around what you can offer. But especially during COVID, folks had some expectations about no contact purchasing options, home delivery, consistent product, and all of those things, can be very challenging. So before you would enter into an online sales platform, you want to be really aware of what those buyer expectations are. So perhaps doing a poll of your current customers, or talking to other farmers to find out what is their experience. And then, of course, the scale of sales. Some of these platforms are expensive. They're $500 to set up. And then they have a monthly fee. A lot of service comes with that. Some of them offer like 40 hours a year service. Some offer 24/7 service, by chat or email. So it's a big investment. So does it make sense for your farm operation to consider this platform? And then, of course, delivery options. We'll talk about this a little bit more, but some folks, can send your produce to an aggregator like Harvey, and then they handle the delivery, or you yourself have to handle the delivery, or does the consumer come to you? All righty. So, and then of course we have to talk about COVID times. So, during COVID times, a lot of the resources that I have tonight came from organizations that very rapidly put together presentations for farmers, because farmers had to pivot literally overnight because they lost access to traditional in-person markets, but they still had produce to move. They still had milk to sell. They still had cheese. They still had meat. But how are they going to get it to their consumer outside of a phone call or a text or an email? So folks did pivot quite quickly to online sales. And so the resources I'm going to share with you tonight demonstrate a really deep dive that some organizations went into. And so the consumers came to farmers, maybe sometimes for the first time, talking to their neighbors about, wow, I know that you always have sold meat, but, I was just comfortable going to Ingles. Well, now there's no meat at Ingles, so can I buy meat from you? And some of the farmers that we work with, they sold out immediately just by that phone call thing. So you had that high demand on one end, but really sometimes not the capacity to move it online. And so these online platforms were ready to serve.
Being recorded.
Okay. Yeah, we're recording, everybody. I hope that's okay. All righty. So how do you benefit from selling online? You save time. Again, it's this idea of, am I going to spend, so many hours getting the truck ready, getting the produce ready, going and sitting at the farmer's market, packing it up, bringing it home, unpacking, or am I going to sit in my toasty office on Monday night and update my inventory and send out to everybody and let them know what's available, and let your clients point and click, and then you deliver, or they come pick up, or a hybrid. There's a way for you to share your story online. We all know it's hard sometimes at the farmer's market. People want to chat with you, but you got a line of people, and you don't have that opportunity. But a lot of these platforms, they integrate blogs, they integrate and are integrated into your website so that your story is right there. And consumer research really does show that the more a client knows about you and knows about your farm story, the more likely they are to maintain that relationship and share that story with others. And then, of course, there's diversifying your income stream. If you have enough to go to the farmer's market and have this platform, this is a good way, to think about that. And again, goodness, I hope we don't have another pandemic, but, if it ever happens again, and you've got this platform, you can move your produce. All right. So online platforms, what they do is they make it easier and safer in COVID times to collect payments, manage inventory, customize orders, and more. Really, almost any job that's not actual farming. The setup is absolutely going to take some time, but they handhold with you. And that's this $500 fee that you're going to pay for some of these folks, is all that handholding to get it done. And we're going to talk about some shortcuts. But one of the things I noticed, some of the platforms you can integrate, of course, you can integrate your inventory, but you can also Oh, everybody's got to be on mute. On mute. If you can mute yourself, KT, that would be great. So, and some of them, they go as far as to even have payroll. And they link with your QuickBooks. So imagine that at the end of the year, you just download your QuickBooks to do your taxes, and it shows all the taxes you've collected. It shows all the sales you've made, and it's right there. So for some people, that $500 a year and that $9.99 monthly fee is worth that great system of record keeping. All right. However, there is also the idea to do it yourself. And so, listing it on your website and saying, look and see what we've got on our website, and then send me a text or send me an email and tell me what you want, and I'll invoice you and stick it in the mail. So as you can imagine, that's for a smaller scale producer. And so these are our friends at Smoky Mountain Mangalista in Harnett County. And she is thinking about doing an online platform, but for them right now, they sell a very unique, very high-end pork product from the Mangalista pig. It's this beautiful pig. I wish I could. This is a rendering of what that pig looks like, but it's this beautiful pastured pork. This is what it looks like. Isn't that the funniest looking pig? But it's mountain pastured. And so what she has is this shop now, and it's not this big fancy platform. List your items in our contact page or text us and we'll get you a quote. And that's all she does. So she's not paying for that platform. And so what you do is you're like, oh, okay, I see boneless pork chops, 2 per pack at $27 a pound. I mean, this is really high-end stuff. And so then you make a note of that, and then you go to her contact tab there, and you fill it. And this is how you fill it out. List your items and inquiries here. This is as low tech as you can get, besides calling somebody and saying, hey, I saw you've got those pork chops. I want to come by and pick up, how we all used to do it, right? So that's Smoky Mountain Mangalista. She is thinking about transitioning to an online order form. From what I understand, it is very hard to, especially when it's this expensive. We're talking, $27 a pound. You want your. I need to get back to my presentation. I need that to go away. Sorry, guys, I gotta get this to go away. Okay, here we go. Okay, and so what are the issues with that? There's no fees, but it's more work. You have a personal customer interface, but that's more work. But it is a good way to gauge sales and then scale up. And so that's where she's at now. I see there's something in her. Joe, thank you. Okay. All righty. So what do you have to have on your platform? Well, all of these things that they teach you in junior high school journalism. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. So all of that. But where else is that information already? It's probably on your website. So the idea is that you put all this work into your Wix website. And so why don't you just add a platform to that Wix website? And you can do that. They will integrate it for you. And some of these other models that we're going to talk about also will integrate into your existing website. So you've already put in all this work. You've covered all of this information there. What will change is the how, usually, and maybe the when, and maybe the where. Where can I pick up? Is it only Thursdays from 6 to 8? How do I pay? So those are the things that you have to be really conscious of. But again, if you've got a fantastic website, you put a lot of money into it, maybe for sure you put in a lot of time. Think about how you can integrate some of these other resources into your platform. And so here is a really good example. So WordPress, Wix, Weebly, and Squarespace. This is a really good slide for describing, what is unique about them. So drag and drop plugin. That's what you want to do. You want to drag in these pictures, and you want to plop it in there. WordPress is best for SEO, that's search engine optimization. So if I go in right now, I'm based in Cherokee County, and I type in, I want to buy local pork. So WordPress, apparently, they're saying that they have the best search engine optimization. Wix, it's cheap, easy to set up, highly customizable, has the most designer templates. Some of these templates are gorgeous. We use Canva. Canva is just beautiful. And, people expect that now. People expect beauty and when they get there. They don't expect, this first generation website design. And really, they're very fun and very elegant to look at. And if I can figure out how to get there, we will look at that. And then, they're telling you coding required to customize. Oh, well, to me, that's a red flag. I don't know how to code. I don't want to pay somebody to code. WordPress, I'm sure, will take your money to code, but you don't want to do that. They tried to teach us that at work about updating our own work websites, and we just don't do it. We wait for somebody to be able to do it for us. But using your website platform is really a good option because it's fully ready for this e-commerce. And also, one of the things that you want to make sure of is that it's mobile response ready. Most of us of a certain age, of a consumer age and younger, even the kids that don't have a lot of money, we're buying stuff from our phones. So that just, mom is sitting in the carpool line or dad is sitting in the carpool line. They pull up their phone and they're like, I want to order this, and this from KT. I'm going to pick it up Thursday on the way back from soccer practice. Done. So we have to be mobile responsive ready. All right. And then, think about what is the least favorite part of your job. The least favorite part of the job for me would be this coding. I don't want to code. I just want to be able to drag and drop my pictures. So this is what, and marketing, online marketing can take a lot of time depending on your volume and how many clients you have. And the way Smoky Mountain Mangalista is doing it that's very intense. But from these other options that we're going to look at, it's plug and play. It's done for you. You tell everybody your order has to be in by Thursday night at midnight, and you look at it and you pack on Friday and deliver on Saturday. And it's that easy. So that's the beauty of these platforms. So again, I just wanted to spend a minute about what are you already doing? Lots of folks are using Square at the farmers market. So you're already using Square. So why don't I set up my online sales with Square? And that way it's all integrated, right? And again, they've got the beauty thing down. They have all these beauty images. And so the products, commerce, sell on the website, marketing, messaging, loyalty programs. How unique is that? If you're my customer, you've bought 22 shares this year, you get an extra box at Christmas time with a wreath, from our farm. Banking is super important. People are like, when am I going to get my money? Some places are like, it's immediate. It's in your bank immediately. Some are like, it can take 2 days. And that's an issue. Staff, run your team efficiently, time cards, payroll. And then this is, they have that developer piece in there that we were talking about, connect with third-party apps or build custom solutions. So say you have Wix, well, maybe they'll work with Wix with your existing website. And so then there's retail, food and beverage, professional services, large businesses. And so what we're talking about tonight is, retail and food and beverage. Unfortunately, they didn't have a farm on here as an example. They had CBD retail, which was kind of weird, but so this is point of, so they have the whole thing. They have the hardware, they have the software, managing your inventory, helping you run the business and do all these things. And you can take the money and it aligns with your end of the year finances. So again, my point with this is, what are you already doing? If you already have a website and you already have Wix, I'm trying to get out of that, and you already have Square, maybe think of that first, talk to them first so that you're not adding a third thing that you're paying for or a third thing that you have to integrate. All right. So an ordering system creates extra work. You got to put your products online. You got to get these pictures, or they have stock pictures. A bunch of green onions is a bunch of green onions. They've got that picture. So that is a plus. Post products as you want to sell them. They have this huge inventory of images where you drag and drop and say red onions this week. But what if you have something that's super unique? Some super product that they don't have. They probably are not going to have candy roaster squash. And so you have to figure that out. Use your phone in the field to track inventory with seamless updates. Again, that mobile or a tablet that you're taking out, you're walking, you're seeing what's getting harvested. You're like, yeah, we can pull off 50 heads of cabbage this week. Boom, put that on there. And what if you have restaurant sales? What if it's not just direct to consumer? What if it's also wholesale sales? Many of these will have that opportunity for you to have that differentiation in price between wholesale and retail. That's pretty amazing. And the key is getting rid of manual processes. Inventory is automatic. Say you have registered clients and they're like, I want the same thing as I got last week. They just go back and, and click and go. And then again, as I said, consider an online system that supports multiple sales channels, wholesale and retail, and aligns with your record keeping. Most of these do align with QuickBooks. So again, if you do your own books or you have a CPA, you will love yourself at the end of the year. All righty. So how to decide? This is very, very challenging because there are so many options, but the good news in the information age is there is information, a lot of information out there about each of these. And I'm going to share that with you, for you, resources for you to look at that will demonstrate, how farmers are working with this. And so nobody that I could find locally in our region is using Harvey, but I know these folks, Shiloh and Jason at Tumbling Shoals Farm. I've worked with them many years ago, but this is talking about scale. They're in Wilkes County, but look at all their delivery locations. They've got, 1, 2, 3 high tunnels that I can see here, maybe 4. And so this is their, their CSA and their shares and what you can do. And then they have add-ons, they have egg add-ons. I want to add on a low-income support gift. And so you can see that Harvey sets this up and for you, they put this in once, right? And so this is what, and they put in, what they normally have once. And then when you go, you say, I want this share. And then you would go to that menu. They're closed now, unfortunately, but for the season, but you would go to that menu and you would click on what they have. And they even have, bath bars and CBD oil and mushrooms. And so looks like they are also aggregating from other farms. So that's really interesting. So this is, and these folks are very savvy. I mean, they have done presentations all over the country. They integrate a blog into this. So just today, Shiloh posted buffalo wings with blue cheese dip. That looks great. And then they have this pop-up thing. You know, they want to hear from us. So it's just so fancy. Oh, this is the Harvey blog. Interesting. This is the Harvey blog, not Tumbling Shoals. Okay. So search nearest pickup locations. Let's see. So this is the Harvey landing page. So this is all the farms that Harvey works with. And this is the Tumbling Shoals section of the Harvey page. So Harvey is one of the ones that, you know, has a lot of people really favor Harvey. So that's something you want to look into. And I have a lot more information about Harvey. Meat Suite is local. This was developed by my colleagues at the Center for Environmental Farming Systems, the NC Choices folks. And this is just about meat, how to order meat. And you don't order from Meat Suite, but it directs folks. So you would put in and say, you know, I'm in Cherokee County. What are the farms near me? It directs you to those farms. And then it shows what they have: beef, pork, chicken, rabbit, and what they have, and then it directs you to their farm. It's quite elegant, and it's only North Carolina and New York. All righty. So I wanted to talk to you about the questions. What are the things I should think about? Well, luckily, Oregon Tilth put these questions together for us. You know, how long have you been at it? How many farmers are you working with? What will it cost me? What's your fee structure? One of the issues with the fee structure is that every credit card purchase is charged a fee. And who pays that? Do you pay it, the farmer, or does the client pay it? That's a big deal. And you know, this came up a lot during COVID. I'm ready to start selling products right now. How long does it take to get started? Is there a wait because of the increase in demand? Then here's this question about credit and debit card fees charged. Can they pay by cash or check? What about EBT? EBT sales did absolutely increase online. It was much harder at the beginning, of COVID. And only some vendors like Walmart and forget what the other one was, were able to take it. But now apparently there are some ways to take EBT. Discounts, coupons, and promotions, yes. How long does it take for customer payments to deposit into my farm's bank account? That can be a big deal for folks, whether if it's 2 days or 4 days. Sales tax, they handle sales tax for you. How great is that? Can I integrate this into my accounting software? Is it possible to create pack lists directly from your sales platform? How about labels? So some of them print labels for you for shipping if you're not doing, you know, that real personal direct to consumer sale. And some of the platforms offer suggestions for delivery routes based on orders, like a turn-by-turn most efficient delivery route for your orders if you are doing home delivery. Pretty amazing. What kind of IT support does your company provide? You know, that could be so important. And our colleagues at Yonder had some problems where, you know, they had set up this amazing platform at COVID and it just shut down, you know, and they were out for 24 hours and had to hard email everybody saying, you know, we're out, we're trying to get the platform back up. So you want a really clear understanding of what kind of IT support you have. And this is really important. What happens to my farm sales data if I stop using your platform? You know, privacy is an asset, and it's not just your privacy as a farm, it's your customer's privacy. So this is a question that we all have to ask these days. So about a specific platform, they have great customer service representatives. They want to sell you this. But again, Oregon Tilth had these interviews, and you'll have this link in the slide deck that will be sent to you. And they hosted a webinar in March 2020, just when everything was going, crazy. And they got responses from all of these folks to those questions that I just went over. And, these are, some of the biggest ones, and can really give you an idea of what differentiates themselves from each other, from one another. So you will have this link. All right. And so other helpful resources I want to look at. The National Young Farmers Coalition had a webinar right away. We're going to look at that link. The CSA Innovation Network. So, you can use a lot of the ideas of a CSA, but not necessarily have a CSA to use this tool. But many farms use the CSA model with this online sales platform. And then, of course, at NC State, we have our local food platform. So I did want to show you some of these resources that were just so great. This one I really loved. And again, it was in early 2020. It has all of these, and it has these ratings, and it has a presentation linked to it. It has farmer comments and complete detail, pros and cons. So, and then Farmago is another one. Here's a staff presentation and a farm presentation on Farmago and all these ratings here. And this one is, they're saying it's best for customizable. Graze Cart, here's again a farm that wrote gave them a video tour of their store and the back end and how they work with it. Here's one for Harvey. It does look like it does get higher ratings, local line, but this goes on. And you're going to have, obviously, this link here. Shopify is one. And this family farm, went on Spotify. It looks like maybe it was a podcast by the Missouri Action Agency about how they use Spotify. And here's Square. Let's see. Square looks like it's rated quite highly. You have your own site. It looks nice and unique. It's easy to set up, easy for the customer to use. And again, many folks are already using Square. And then I get these confused. Squarespace is different from Square. And here's a North Carolina farm that's featured, Raleigh's Hillside Farm. And again, they're rated very highly, 31 users and 21. So it gives you that ratio, 64 users and 57 ratings. So anyhow, so this is just a really great resource that you have, that if you want to, take a deep dive in these dark days. Here is Meat Suite. So find a farm within 25 miles of my zip code that sells chicken, and search. Nobody sells chicken within 25. Let's clear search. So within 25 miles of my zip code. And I don't have to put that in there. Search product, pork, and the attributes. This is cool. I only want pasture raised. Well, guess what? There's our friends, Smoky Mountain Mangalista. Pasture raised, heritage breed, and animal welfare. And then if we view and we go back to their website, let's look at another one. Product, beef. We're beef heavy. Attributes. Let's see if we have any halal. Nope, no halal. Let's see if we have grass-fed. Nope. So there's an option for somebody to take advantage of that market that's not here. Probably pasture raised, I would say. Yeah, Forever Green Farm in Clyde, just 21 miles from me. And so what happens? So you're not buying from this platform, but it takes me to their platform and it shows what they're selling, but I have to contact them. So this is kind of the in-between, you know, the Smoky Mountain Mangoista. You know, she has, this is a resource for them to get out there besides just their own website. And of course, gosh, I hope I have them up here, but ASAP has their local guide. You know, you can go to ASAP to look at, you know, their regional find local food, their local food guide. And you're not ordering stuff from here, but you know, so find local food. So you don't order your items from here, but you can find farms here. And I'm surprised it's not a little easy. Produce seasonality. It tells you this is great, you know, but this is another resource that you can put your farm on this page and of course be featured in their local food guide, which is everywhere. And that's how folks can find you and find your farm. So use the online guide, 1300, there we go. That's what I was looking for. So, so let's see, Webster, North Carolina. What do I want? I want collards right now. No collards in Webster right now, but maybe if I had, you know, selected restaurant, but find local foods. This is another kind of interim between you managing your own and then buying one of these huge platforms. You can put yourself in a local guide. Outside of our region in Western North Carolina, there's also Piedmont Grown. And then there's the Feast Down East and the Wilmington area. So those are the kind of the three regional ones that I'm aware of. All right, let me see if there's something else. Yeah, so here's the Appalachian Group. Let me see if that's the one I've already showed you. And let's see. This is the NC State one about marketing local food. This talks to you about certification and branding. So resource and information about online sales, guides and toolkits. Building farm and food business websites. This is from a project that I did years ago, but it's still available. So this is the challenge with the information age, in that there's so much information. So the goal of this session was to kind of help you think about the questions that you should be asking, and really to figure out, how do I add on to my existing resources? So now I'm going to transition into our farmer interviews. And so KT and Christina are both farmers in Haywood County, and I've had the great pleasure to work with both of them on Empowering Mountain Food Systems projects. And so KT, if you wouldn't mind, we can go ahead and start with you. And the question I have for you, and let me make sure I can get you off mute. Why can't I say that word? Ask to unmute. See if I can unmute. Oh, no, Steph, can you help me? Is she still there?
Yeah, just unmute. I can invite her to unmute. One sec.
Okay, there's, okay, KT, you're on here twice. Okay, ask to unmute. So can you okay, KT, see if you can talk. Maybe you're unmuted on your other thing. No. So you have two platforms here. I wonder why. Can you, if you hit your, are you seeing a way to do that, Steph?
I keep clicking ask to unmute. It's almost as if Zoom is not responding. So KT,
KT, on one of these, it says that one where it's just your name.
They're both muted.
I'm going to make her a co-host and see.
KT, do you see the microphone in the bottom left? Is it red with a slash through it? Oh, wait. She was just unmuted.
Was she, KT?
Now she's muted.
I think we can hear you now. KT?
Looks like she's still
No. That is so weird. Usually, well, I made her a host. I'm going to make her a co-host. So KT, it says on this one up here, do you have your phone with you? Why? I'm wondering why we have two KTs. Okay, well, Christina, I'm going to see if I can unmute. Christina, can you unmute yourself?
Yep, it's in the lower left-hand corner
Right.
of the screen. Yeah.
Okay, did you see that, KT?
Okay, now can you
There you are.
hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask both of y'all the same question and just take turns. So can you please tell me why you are considering an online sales platform?
Well, I've kind of exhausted some other avenues, and I've noticed, and I'll tell you how I noticed that. People started coming to the orchard this past fall, and they were wanting to order honey online. And I have plenty of honey, and I'm thinking, well, I've got to set something up because they're busy. You know, they don't have time to come to the barn all the time. And a lot of these people are away from here. They're not local. So I tried doing this barn to door. But barn to door doesn't tell you that all they are is they help you set up your website and they leave. It's all on you. Well, I am one and all here. So it's hard to work in the orchard, run the bees, do the deliveries, and then do an online presence. So I was getting a little bit overwhelmed. So I canceled barn to door. And now I'm going to try to sell vinegars and my honey online. And just so happens this Saturday, of course, we'll see with the snow coming, I'm supposed to set up my website and do and set up online sales. Because I see that's the way it is. Let's face it, everybody's ordering online. You do it, we'll do it. So I just have to get in that niche. Now, fruit's going to be a little different. But I love doing deliveries, and I already have a delivery day. So, you know, I take orders, and then the restaurants, I love doing restaurants, and I deliver to them a certain day. Sometimes I have to deliver twice a week. So I like that. I like having my orders in by a certain day and having a certain day to deliver. I love that.
Okay. So thank you, KT, and we're going to talk to you some more. But Christina, tell us what you're doing at Outlaw Acres and why you are considering an online sales platform and what you've learned so far.
Absolutely. So with being, sorry, our toddlers, it's that time of night. With participating in the VSA program last year, and hopefully again this year, we really want to take advantage of being exposed to potential customers that maybe don't live locally and explore options of shipping produce and or value added products. We're expanding with herbs and seasonings this year. So we wanted a way to be able to sell that. And so we're starting to explore in this online option. And then also with selling poultry, we have the NC state exemption, so we can sell poultry and ship it anywhere in the state of North Carolina, just as long as we don't cross state lines. So we figured that would be a really cool option too, to get our poultry out to people outside of Haywood County. Just a way to diversify our income outside of, local farms, local farmers markets, and like local restaurants.
So KT, you said you were getting ready to, build your website. What platform are you going to use?
I bought name, KTOrchard.com from GoDaddy,
Okay.
and kept it now for 3 years, and not really used. I used GoDaddy for a little bit, but it was just because I didn't know Laura. So now that I've got help is the key here. And so I'm getting some help to set up the website, tell my story, make things attractive, and do. I did have an online page at Barn to Door, but people need to listen to this. I did.
We lost you, KT. And that sounded really important.
Yeah, we lost her at just the wrong time. KT, are you still there? Can you hear us?
Uh-oh.
Oh man. Okay, she'll rejoin.
She'll come back. So Christina, which platforms are you considering so far?
So as of right now, we use WordPress for our website. It's been great so far. It is a little bit more complicated to learn at first. And every time I log back in it takes me a few minutes. So I do want to look into Wix. I'm going to look into that tonight just to compare. But so our website is WordPress, and with that, the most cost-effective online selling platform that I found so far is Square, because I can integrate Square right into they have a plugin where the Square will integrate right into the WordPress, and it will track inventory on both the website and Square. So if we're at the farmer's market and we sell 5 bunches of radishes and we only have 2 left to ship, it will automatically update the website so that in real time, so I don't have to go home and update the website.
Right, which is amazing.
Yeah, which is really convenient. And it's a little bit cheaper. Not cheaper. It's like $4 less than some of the other places per month. So that's what we use now, but I do want to look into Wix because I think Wix does have plugins available like that as well.
Right. KT, if you're back, you said there's something really important we need to know about Barn Door. Maybe type it in the chat because you've got us.
That KT is the one that she wasn't really aware of and wasn't able to use. The other KT who disappeared, I'm waiting for her to pop back up into the waiting room, but I haven't seen her yet.
You see? Can you?
Maybe KT, maybe if she, oh, there she is.
There she is.
Let me make her a host again. Oh, no, you're a host, so you should click her microphone down there there you go. Okay. KT?
Can you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, no. Maybe KT, if you can type it into the chat, what we all really need to know about Barn Door, or what we need to know when we are considering this. Yeah, you're freezing up. Sometimes if you turn off your camera, we can hear you better. So maybe hit your little camera button. And if we can't see you, maybe we can hear you. Okay, we're not hearing you. Okay. KT, can you tell us what you think is really important that everybody needs to know?
I can't.
I'm going to promise you, you guys, we are going to email you and tell you what. Sure. So I'm sorry, KT, we can't get you. And this is the challenge out here. Okay. Well, I think, so Christina, is the cost an issue for you?
It's not so much an issue. It's just that like if we can save, why not? So I compared Shopify with Square, and Square is $25 and is Square integrated into my WordPress combined. So my website that also can feature my blog, that I can monetize the website. I can have a special subscriber only content section. You get SEO tools, you get advanced social media tools. So it's not just the online sales platform that you get with the Square integrated into your WordPress. You get quite a bit more for $25 a month, whereas Shopify was $29 a month. And then the Square in-person transactions were 2.6% plus 10% per in person.
Wow.
Whereas Shopify didn't have that option. It was just 2.9% plus 30 cents a transaction. So an online transaction using your Square based platform would be 2.9% plus the 30 cents. But you get that kind of a little bit of a break with your in-person, like at farmers markets, sales. So it's not that money is a huge thing, but if we can save and we can get a little bit more bang for our buck, I'm willing for that option.
And KT was saying that Barn Dorrit has a bunch of hidden fees, and I can remember hearing that about them, that it's like, oh yeah, we can integrate with your QuickBooks, but that'll be another $120, or yeah,
right,
integrate with your Square. But so that's why, using what you already have, might be.
And the other thing with WordPress, I'm sorry, is that with this, it's called their business plan, I think is what it's called. It's a $25 a month plan, and they also give you the option to accept payments with PayPal, which is cool. So not only do you have Square integrated, but you could also have the option to add PayPal with that WordPress, from WordPress.
Okay. All right, you guys, we're going to keep chatting, but I'm going to put the Steph, do you have the link for the evaluation that you can put on there for me? I tried to get it already.
Right now.
And it's really important, if you know me and Steph and Lauren, we're all about the evaluation. It really helps us continue our funding. So the fee was $900 plus for the year.
Wow.
With very, very little help. I don't know, but I bet you that's come down because they have so much competition. But check out those resources I sent you, because especially those questionnaires from Oregon Tilth. So here's one right here, and this is the local food marketplace. So Oregon Tilth is a one-time setup fee of $499, but $900 a month prepaid annually. So that can get pricey. So the one-time setup fee is $500, and then $98 a month prepaid. So that's kind of tricky language there. So that's over $1,000, $1,500 really. But they have those depth of those questions there at that Oregon Tilth website. So let's see, do we have the evaluation in the link? Is that what this is, Steph? Here? Sorry.
Yes, that's what that is. And I'm just getting some other information right now to copy and paste. for folks.
Okay, so yeah, if you guys can take a minute and fill out that evaluation, we've really shortened our evaluations, but super important to know if this was effective and what else we need to do to improve and get y'all information. Some of you, the names on this, I don't recognize. Empowering Mountain Food Systems is a project that's in the very southwestern part of North Carolina. Anybody is welcome to attend any of our educational sessions, but our scholarships and funding is only for folks in the 7 far western counties and Qualla boundary. I do want everybody to be aware, if you're on our listserv, that you are eligible for 2 conferences coming up, the Business of Farming Conference that's run by ASAP, and I think that's February 28th. It's an all-day conference. I'm sure they may even cover this topic, but every time I go to that conference, I learn so much. It's one day, very intense, held at AB Tech. I believe it's February 28th, but it's around those days. And the second one is Organic Grower School. They are collaborating again with Mother Earth News to have their 2+ day conference. And they'll be holding that in Mars Hill. And these are in person. So let's be hopeful. Let's hope everybody's being safe and watching out for each other, that we'll be able to do these things safely end of February and in March. But if you are in our counties, which is Haywood County West, you're eligible for those scholarships, and early bird ends in a couple of days. So make sure and do that. So next week, we've got Annie Baggett will be with us. She is really, I would say, an international expert in agritourism. And she will be joining us to talk about agritourism. We have a huge interest in agritourism in Western North Carolina, really all over the state. And the NC Farms app is her brainchild, and really excited about that. Yeah, go ahead and fill out your poll. Only 5 of 7 have done that. So I need the rest of you to fill out that poll for me. So Annie will be speaking, as well as I'll have a recording from our colleagues at NC State that did some on the ground research out here over the past year about agritourism assets and what they learned. And they have that information to share. So that's going to be really fun. So that's next week, February 3rd. February 10th, we have another agritourism session. Smoky Mountain Mangalista will be with us talking about her hip camp and glam camping. We'll talk about Airbnb and Harvest Host and all of those opportunities that you have to diversify funding yet again through agritourism. It's something that we see as a huge possibility for working farms. This isn't farms or people who throw up a barn and say, you know, come have a wedding here. This is agritourism. It's more about teaching consumers about what is agriculture, how is food grown and made, and you being a host and realizing that income. It's a lot of work, but it's a huge source of income for a lot of people. So that's February 3rd and February 10th. Hopefully you got those links in the chat there. If you haven't gone to your Small Business Center page, you know, please do that. Lauren has sent you that information. They are our hosts. It's super important that you do that. They need to be recognized for this partnership. So that's all I have. I'm wondering, Steph, were there any questions in the chat? Bye, Christina. Thank you.
Actually not. Does anyone have any last questions tonight for anybody? For Laura or anyone else?
All right. Well, I gave you all these opportunities to stay in contact with us. Stephanie makes a gorgeous newsletter. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we share so many resources. Again, part of the challenge of our work, all of us in life these days, is there's so much information out there, and it's our responsibility to try to get that to you in a way that's most helpful. So thank you all. It's been a very challenging couple of years, and I'm so grateful to work in this space with all of you who are trying to keep our food system safe and vibrant. So huge gratitude. Stephanie, thank you so much for helping. KT, thank you for helping and sharing your story. It's an amazing one. So excited to work with you and Christina in this coming year. So thanks again, everybody.